Nature of a business.
For today's class, we are going to differentiate between private and public sectors. We'll look at the concept of private and public sectors, and then we will move on to describe the various forms of business organizations and arrangements. The formation, management, and characteristics of A. Sole trader, B. Partnerships, C. Co-operatives, D. Companies, including private and public limited companies, and at E. Franchises. Now, let's begin with the private sector. The private sector is made up of businesses and organizations owned and operated by individuals or private companies. Their main goal is to make a profit. Examples of private sectors include supermarkets, private schools, private hospitals, clothing stores, private banks, restaurants, and small shops. It also includes all business types like sole traders, partnerships, companies, and franchises. Key features of the private sector includes profit-driven, owned by individuals or shareholders, can be local or international. Now let's move on to the public sector. The public sector is made up of organizations owned and controlled by the government. The main goal of the public sector is to provide essential goods and services to the public, not to make a profit. Examples that make up the public sector includes police, public hospitals, public schools, and transport services like the JUTC, NWC, tax offices in Jamaica. Key features of the public sector includes government-owned, funded by taxes, focuses on public service and national interest. Woo, that was a lot! Now let's move on to the main types of business organizations. There are many types of business organizations: sole trader, partnerships, companies, cooperatives, and franchises. Let's begin. A. Sole trader. It is easy to set up by one person with minimal legal requirements. Since it is owned by one person, it is also managed by the owner, who makes all decisions. Ain't that great? Now let's talk characteristics. Owned and run by one person, keeps all profits, bears all risks and liabilities, simple and flexible. B. Partnership. This type of business is formed by 2 to 20 people who agree to run a business together. Since there is more than one person, the partners share responsibilities and profits based on a partnership agreement. Now let's talk characteristics. Shared capital and expertise, joint decision-making, unlimited liability, unless it's a limited partnership, profits shared among partners. C. Co-operatives. This is a group of people with a common goal, form a registered business to benefit all members. This type of business is managed by an elected committee. Each member has one vote. The characteristics include owned and controlled by members, profits shared based on use or contribution, focus on service, not just profit, often seen in farming, credit unions, and retail. D. Companies. This is broken into 2 types. These includes private limited companies and public limited companies. Okay, let's start with the private limited company, limited. To form the business, it must register with legal authorities, e.g., Registrar of Companies. The company is ran or managed by directors on behalf of shareholders. The characteristics include shares not sold to the public, limited liability, usually family-owned or small group of investors, continuity even if owners change. Now, let's talk public limited company, PLC. This is formed similarly to private companies, but must also meet public listing requirements. It is managed by a board of directors elected by shareholders. Characteristics include shares sold to the public on the stock exchange, limited liability, large-scale operations, subject to more regulations and transparency. And finally, E. Franchise. This business, a legal agreement where one party, the franchisee, is allowed to use another's brand and system, the franchisor. The franchisee is the one that manages the business under the rules and support of the franchisor. Characteristics include lower risk due to proven brand, franchisee pays fees and royalties, must follow franchisor's guidelines. Examples: KFC, Subway, Domino.
Alright, that's it for today's lesson on the public and private sectors and the different types of business organizations. I hope everything was clear and easy to understand. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Miss Francis Creates, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a lesson. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.